Hey guys, although it's too late to pass the AP Physics exam,
It's not too late to gain some knowledge that'll help repair the damage from that one you got.
today we'll find a way to teach you about Newton's laws.
Newton's laws have their foundations in the principles of one-dimensional mechanics. This looks at an object's motion and has two areas of study, kinematics and dynamics. Kinematics looks at an object's motion without consideration of the cause, while dynamics looks at the consideration of cause over a position over a certain time within a frame of reference. They also have an influence from the Greeks. Aristotle was vastly influential in the study of motion, and he believed that the natural state of objects was to be at rest, while the natural state of some celestial objects was to be in motion. He thought that there needed a violent motion to be imposed by a push or pull force to have a change in state. Galileo also develops the concept of friction, and that's where Newton comes in.
A force is required to change an object's state of motion, no matter the state of motion that is currently undergoing. For example, when Jamie, a 17-year-old driver, changes her mode of transportation to a duck, there is no force acting on her and she sits there. Likewise, Allie's lazy self lays on a bench with no force acting on her, so both of them stay dead inside, like me on the exam. At a constant velocity, there is a net force of zero because acceleration is required for there to be a force. This law is also known as the law of inertia, because inertia is a body's resistance to a change in motion. Larger bodies take more force to enact a change, meaning they have a greater inertia. This depends on the amount of matter, which is gravitational mass. This is equal to inertial mass in physics, which is resistance to change.
Newton's second law can also be referred to as the Fermat equation. Force is a vector quantity and will yield a direction as a result of the direction of acceleration, but mass will not affect it because it is a scalar quantity. Net force will be equal to the sum or difference of all opposing forces on an object. For example, Ava pulls at Allie with a force of 1,000 men to the left, while Jamie pulls with a force of 2 men to the right. Thus, there will be a force of 998 men to the left in the negative direction, taking the right as the positive. This gives Allie an acceleration to the left as well. When it comes to changes in force, we will only consider change in acceleration because mass is intrinsic in Newtonian mechanics. When it comes to equilibrium, all opposing forces are equal.
A common misconception in physics is that smaller bodies exert a small amount of force. However, Newton's third law states that for every action is an equal and opposite reaction. So when Dr. Peterson's action is to assign a law of mastering physics, I'll have a lot of mental breakdowns. This is shown in satellites revolving around planets. Although the satellites are smaller, they exert the same amount of force as the planet does on the satellite. This is also shown in our scenario in the park, when we were on the bouncy animal things, whatever they're called. When we push on them, they push back on us with an equal and opposite force in the opposite direction, oscillating back and forth.
I'm embarrassed.